Let's get one thing straight. What you're about to hear isn't science fiction, and it's not a scene from a blockbuster movie. This is real life, and it's about to change the way we think about the skies forever. We've all seen the movies, Top Gun, Iron Man, where a hero and a computer voice saved the day. That's Hollywood, right? We're used to seeing pilots with nerves of steel, backed up by a sassy AI, pulling off impossible stunts and saving the world at the last second. But that's just entertainment. Or at least, it used to be, not anymore. Just weeks ago, over the icy blue waters of the Baltic Sea, Sweden did something that makes those films look tame by comparison. They didn't just push the envelope, they tore it up and wrote a new one. They put an artificial intelligence called Centaur in the cockpit of a Gripen E fighter jet and let it fly. Not as a co-pilot, not as a backup, but as the one actually in command. This was a leap into the unknown, a test of trust between human engineering and machine intelligence. This wasn't a gentle test flight. It was a full-on combat simulation, designed to push the AI to its limits. The stakes were high, and the risks were real. The AI wasn't just helping, it was in control, making decisions, flying, identifying threats, dodging missiles. It analyzed the battlefield in real time, reacting to threats faster than any human could hope to. The human pilot, just along for the ride. Imagine being in the cockpit, hands off the controls, watching as a digital mind takes over, executing maneuvers you'd never dare to try yourself. This is a historic moment, truly a turning point in aviation. For the first time, a real AI was given the keys to a modern fighter jet, trusted with the power and responsibility that once belonged only to the best-trained pilots. Not a test drone, not a trainer, an operational frontline warplane. This is the kind of jet that would be sent into real combat, not just a lab experiment. And it was Sweden, neutral, sensible Sweden, that pulled it off, not a superpower. A country known for its pragmatism and innovation, not for flashy military displays. They've just leapfrogged countries with far bigger budgets, showing that brains can beat brawn in the new era of warfare. This changes everything about air combat. The rules of engagement, the balance of power, even the way pilots are trained, all of it is up for grabs now. The old rulebook, faster, stealthier, more expensive, is out the window. The focus is shifting from hardware to software, from muscle to mind. The Swedes have shown the future isn't about the metal, it's about the mind. The real edge now is who can build the smartest, most adaptable AI. A digital mind that can think, react, and fight at the speed of light. It's not just about flying faster, it's about outthinking the enemy in every split second. That's a problem for anyone not flying a Gripen. Suddenly the playing field isn't level, it's tilted toward those who can innovate the fastest. For decades, air power was about who could spend more. The biggest budgets bought the best jets, the most advanced missiles, the most training hours. Now it's about who can outthink the competition. The future of air combat will be written in code, not just in steel and fuel. Sweden just proved you don't need to be the biggest to be the best. With vision, courage, and a willingness to trust technology, they've set a new standard for the world. The world's superpowers? They've just been outpaced by a country with fewer people than London. It's a wake-up call for every nation that thought size was all that mattered. The game has changed, and Sweden just rewrote the rules. The next era of air combat will be defined by intelligence, not intimidation. The future of air combat has arrived, and it's thinking for itself. The question now is, who will keep up and who will be left behind? So, what is Centaur? Imagine a co-pilot that never blinks, never gets tired, and never misses a detail, no matter how chaotic the skies become. Not just a co-pilot, it's a game changer. Centaur is the digital brain-riding shotgun, always alert, always calculating, and always ready to act. During the 2025 test flights, Centaur handled the most demanding jobs, processing sensor data, tracking targets, and plotting attacks, all at supersonic speed. It sifted through a flood of information, prioritizing threats and opportunities in real time, so the pilot could focus on the mission. It wasn't just flying, it was fighting, making split-second decisions in a 3D chess match at 1,000 miles per hour. Every maneuver, every counter-move calculated in the blink of an eye. In a dogfight, a human pilot juggles speed, altitude, threats, and missile ranges. The pressure is relentless, and even the best can be overwhelmed. Centaur does it all in a nanosecond. It can process more variables than a human ever could, and it never loses focus. It can recommend the perfect moment to fire, or steer the jet out of danger, autonomously. In the heat of battle, it's like having a tactical genius at your side. The real test? Engineers cut the data links to the ground. No backup, no remote control, just Centaur and the jet, alone in the sky. Centaur was on its own, relying only on the jet's sensors. It had to interpret the world in real time with no outside help. It didn't miss a beat, dominating a manned Gripen E in the scenario. The AI outmaneuvered its human opponent, proving its instincts and reflexes were razor sharp. This isn't a fragile lab experiment, it's a battle-ready AI. Centaur is designed for the real world where mistakes cost lives. How did it get so good? Centaur trained itself in simulators, flying millions of digital sorties, learning and evolving with every mistake. Each virtual mission made it smarter, faster, and more adaptable. The result? An AI with the equivalent of 50 years of combat experience. It's like having the wisdom of generations of pilots distilled into a single digital mind. Most pilots get 20 years, if they're lucky. Centaur's experience is measured in lifetimes, not tours of duty. This isn't just an upgrade, it's a leap into the future. The cockpit is evolving, and so is the very nature of air combat. Centaur isn't just fast, it's relentless, tireless, and always learning. Every mission, every engagement, it gets better. The age of the AI wingman isn't coming, it's already here. Human pilots now fly with digital partners who never sleep and never hesitate. And it's rewriting what it means to be a fighter pilot. The future of air combat is a partnership, man and machine, thinking and fighting as one. Here's the part that's making generals everywhere sweat. Because what just happened in Sweden is rewriting the rulebook for military innovation. It took just 6 months to get Centaur from a bold idea on paper to a combat-ready system, flying in a real jet. That's not just fast. It's almost unheard of in the world of military aviation. Most military tech takes years, sometimes decades, bogged down by endless layers of bureaucracy, risk-averse committees, and mountains of paperwork. Every new system usually means a parade of forms, approvals, and delays. But the Swedes, working hand in hand with their German partners at Helsing, moved at breakneck speed. They cut through the red tape and focused on what mattered, getting the technology airborne and operational. 6 months. That's less time than it takes to build a garden shed in some countries. In the world of defense, that's practically the blink of an eye. So how did they do it? The secret lies in the Gripen E's open architecture avionics, a design philosophy that's all about flexibility and rapid integration. Unlike most jets, where hardware and software are tightly locked together, the Gripen E separates the two. That means new systems like Centaur can be plugged in, tested, and updated almost as easily as installing a new app on your phone. There's no need for special test aircraft, endless certification cycles, or years of waiting for approvals. The process is streamlined, efficient, and designed for speed. This modular, future-proof design is the Swedish advantage. Every component is built to be swapped, upgraded, or replaced as technology evolves. They can upgrade their jets rapidly, without waiting for a new generation of hardware or a complete redesign. It's a system built for constant evolution. While other nations are still stuck in endless debates over budgets and procurement, Sweden is already flying the future, testing, learning, and improving in real time. The Gripen E isn't just a fighter jet, it's a platform built for agility, adaptability, and constant technological evolution. That's how they went from zero to an AI-flown fighter in just half a year. It's a leap that's left the rest of the world scrambling to catch up. It's not about cutting corners or taking risks with safety, it's about building smarter from the very start, with a system designed for rapid change. The world's superpowers are still planning, still dreaming, still drafting. Meanwhile, Sweden is already airborne, already rewriting the future of air combat. In the race for air dominance, speed of innovation isn't just an advantage, it's everything. The ability to adapt and deploy new tech quickly is the new arms race. And right now, Sweden is lapping the field, setting the pace for the rest of the world to follow. When you picture a fighter jet, you think of raw power, roaring engines, blazing speed. The Gripen E has all that, but its real weapon is its brain. The revolutionary idea software matters more than hardware. The Gripen's open architecture separates flight systems from mission systems, making upgrades fast and safe. In most jets, changing software is brain surgery. In the Gripen, it's like plugging in a USB stick. This means new capabilities, like Centaur, can be added without recertifying the whole plane. The result? The Gripen can evolve constantly, outpacing threats with software updates. While adversaries spend years developing new hardware, Sweden can upload new tactics in weeks. It's a war of wits, not wallets. The Gripen E is always a step ahead, not by building bigger, but by thinking faster. In the world of air combat, adaptability is survival. And the Gripen is built to adapt, at the speed of software. A fighter jet is useless if it's stuck in a hangar or too expensive to fly. The Gripen E was designed for real-world resilience, ready to launch from a frozen road, not just a pristine runway. Sweden's defense doctrine is all about toughness and rapid turnaround. The Gripen can be refueled, rearmed, and back in the air in under 10 minutes, even by conscripts. It's rugged, practical, and built for the harshest conditions. And then there's the cost. At $85 million, it's a bargain compared to rivals like the F-35. Not only is it cheaper to buy, it's vastly cheaper to operate and maintain. That means more jets in the air, more often. For smaller nations, it's a world-class air force without a world-class budget. The Swedes have shown you don't need endless cash to defend yourself. Just smart design. The Gripen is a tool for war, not a trophy for accountants. It's about being ready, not just being expensive. In a real fight, that's what counts. The Gripen E is built to fight, not to impress a spreadsheet. And that's why it matters. While Sweden races ahead with AI jets, the superpowers are bogged down. The US, Russia, and China all have AI projects, but their programs are slow, expensive, and tangled in bureaucracy. The F-35, for example, is a marvel. But its software is so complex, even minor updates take years. Integrating a third-party AI in 6 months? For them, that's science fiction. These giants are built for a different era. Hardware first, software second. Now, the game has changed, and they're struggling to keep up. Sweden's agility has turned the marathon of air power into a sprint. The superpowers are stuck in first gear, grinding through red tape. Meanwhile, Sweden has hit the nitrous and disappeared over the horizon. The old giants are learning. Speed of innovation now decides who rules the skies. The future belongs to those who can adapt, and right now Sweden is leading the way. We're witnessing a revolution in air combat. For a century, fighter jets evolved through better engines and stronger airframes. Now, the Gripen E and its AI mark the end of that era. The real battle is in the software, the code that makes the jet smarter every day. A Gripen E today will be even deadlier tomorrow thanks to constant updates. Rivals stuck in hardware cycles can't keep up. This new paradigm means air forces can adapt in months, not decades. If a new threat appears, Sweden can upload a countermeasure, not build a new jet. The Gripen E is more than a plane, it's a subscription to innovation. Other nations are taking notice and maybe panicking a little. Buying a fighter now means buying into a future of rapid evolution. The Gripen E is always getting better. That's a promise no one else can make. So, where does this leave us? The Gripen E has forced its way into the top tier, not by being the biggest, but by being the smartest. Centaur AI has changed the game, proving that clever software beats brute force. For nations seeking a modern air force, the Swedish jet is suddenly the most compelling option. It's affordable, effective, and guaranteed to evolve. The Gripen E lets smaller countries punch above their weight. Interest is skyrocketing, even among NATO members. The future of air combat is about speed of innovation, and Sweden is setting the pace. More test flights are coming, with even more advanced AI capabilities. While superpowers hold meetings, Sweden is already moving ahead. This is more than a clever plane, it's a lesson in strategy. The most powerful weapon now is coded, not forged. The world is watching, and so are we. The race for the skies just got a new leader.